Carolina men killed in Mexico are returned to the United States. The two friends kidnapped with them were rescued Tuesday. And now 5 men are found tied up with a note supposedly from a drug cartel.
It essentially says the Gulf Cartel condemns the attack which took place last Friday. It apologizes to the Americans and the innocent Mexican woman who died in the shooting. And it lays blame on the 5 men who are tied up on the ground, essentially saying they were undisciplined and they took action without any orders from cartel leadership.
Fox's Bill Malugin. Alec Murdaugh's conviction and life sentences for his wife and son's murders are appealed by his defense attorneys.
The trial lasting 6 weeks, but deliberations lasting about 3 hours. One of Murdaugh's defense attorneys, South Carolina State Senator Dick Harpootlian, taking to Twitter to say this is the next step in the legal process to fight for Alec's constitutional right to a fair trial.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. America's listening to Fox News.
97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
Well. I'm going to try and make it 3 in a row.
Okay.
TGIF.
Yay.
Got it right?
Yes.
Rayford, that was like 5 in a row. You've done it right every day this week.
Okay, then. Good.
Yeah.
Where's
That's
my
one
reward?
day I can
I know,
always
right?
remember is Friday.
Mhm.
Yeah, me too. My headphones are not loud. What did I do wrong? There you go.
There you
Maybe I
go.
bumped the button up there. Here we go. It's just the headphones.
You can
Everything
hear
else
now?
is good.
Okay.
I can hear clearly now.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Okay.
You going to say who you are?
I started.
I'm
to.
Rayford Brown,
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrels.
and welcome to the Red Edition.
Remember everyone deployed.
Yep,
Mhm.
and all law enforcement.
Yes.
And
Always.
Yep.
We've got our back to blue up.
They're always deployed as well. Law enforcement is, fire responder, all emergency responders, first responders are always deployed. So say hey to them when you see them. Don't have to thank them for their service. Just say hey. They'll appreciate that.
Mhm.
And don't buy them a donut.
Why?
They hate that.
You can bring it to me. I prefer the the cream filled chocolate
Those are the
covered.
best.
Oh, yeah.
They are the pure best.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, congratulations to the Coastal Carolina Community College for a really nice event last night.
Yes. It was a good time.
Wow.
Hmm.
Oysters to the left of me, oysters to the right of me, clam chowder here, clam chowder there, and lots of nice people.
Robin said the oysters were some of the best he's eaten in a while.
Where were they from? Do you know?
I don't know.
Did they say?
The salt water.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
I don't
sorry
eat
I
'em,
missed
but-
it.
They were not from Elizabeth Lake,
I was supposed
nor
to go
Catherine's Lake.
to Catherine's Lake only has smallmouth bass. I was supposed to go to another meeting last night in Morehead City, but I was just exhausted yesterday. Pure exhausted.
Well, you missed a good time where we
I
were.
know.
I won some of my silent auctions. Rayford, I'm pretty certain you
yeah.
did. I was stalking where you bid. They'll contact you.
Yeah, well, okay, because I haven't yet.
Yeah. I
And,
bet they'll do it today. And I think Robbie won.
well,
I think
that-
she and I were stalking
She
for her.
gets two different. She's got a different phone number,
Yeah,
of course. So.
yeah, and she had a couple of bids out there too, and one of hers was over by near where mine was, and I saw that she won that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
Robbie.
Excellent.
Yay.
How much is it
For a
going to
good
cost me?
cause.
I won't tell you that.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Good cause. Good cause.
It's for a good cause.
whatever I won, guys. Anybody want to pay for it?
We take donations.
Pay double for it. You
Mhm.
know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I apparently the only thing I bid on was a day at the range
That's the one that you bid on.
down there in Hubert.
Now I didn't check your
Oh,
bid the
yes.
last 5 minutes, but prior to the 5 minutes, because I had to go up there and stalk the code I was bidding on, so make sure nobody outbid me.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's
I-
the way you do it. We used to have, we'd always take one person and have them positioned near the
I
table.
was right in front of my
Send
spot.
signals.
Yeah.
well, the best thing is to stand up there in a very offensive mode, just like that,
Yeah.
in front of the
Like, don't dare.
Don't,
Yeah.
don't shoot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You thinking about
I just
this?
stood there.
Uh,
It was on my face. for a
Silent
if you
minute.
got-
auctions can be fun.
Yeah,
I
if you
love it.
got-
I'm like obsessed with them.
if you got a nice knife, like an oyster knife, like we could
Yes.
have last night, put it in your teeth and just stand there.
Oh my word! Somebody may call the cops. But
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Whoa.
yeah.
Oh my! No, it was
It was
a
a
good
good
event.
night.
It was a
Yeah.
really good event.
A lot of people there.
Lot-
Yeah.
It was.
It was a good crowd.
Goodness gracious! Those boys and girls out there cooking those oysters in that big old pot of clam chowder.
Oh, I know they
Oh,
had
my
fun.
God.
I know they
Mhm.
had fun.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. What's going on?
It's Friday. It's gonna rain today.
Well, there's lots of things
Kelly,
we can't talk about
I'm
yet.
just saying.
Kelly, stop with the rain.
It's gonna rain.
But at
I'm
least,
sorry. Look at the
We
cloud.
need the rain.
Yes, you know what? I will say, yeah, thank you, Kelly, because
Mhm.
I thought about that as I was getting out of the truck this morning.
If
We
we
need a
don't-
good
we-
rain.
We've already had a wildfire.
Yes.
Old Camp Lejeune.
Oh,
we
that
got-
was the controlled burn that got out of
Yeah,
control
the-
again.
On
Yeah,
the
what-
day when you had that alert, it says fire danger.
Yeah,
Yes,
50
they burn.
50
yes.
mile per hour wind gusts.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I got 2 alerts on my phone over that, Rayford. Like apparently, people at Camp Lejeune did not get that alert.
Apparently not.
Terrible.
Yeah, it just brought up memories of that one that got out of control several years ago where we lost a firefighter and
Yeah.
a deputy sheriff. So,
That's during that one. I have left from Jacksonville, went to Wrightsville Beach by boat to pick up some people, take them out for a little ride.
from Jacksonville?
Yeah, some friends of mine.
Oh, that would have been fun.
And then on the way back, I'm like, there's all that smoke coming from over yonder. I can smell it. And I started calling in, checking things out, and it was like,
Right.
wow,
Right.
a heck of a fire. And then over the weekend, I was up in Morehead City and went out to the inlet there in Beaufort Inlet and went over towards Cape Lookout, the tower.
Yes.
You couldn't see it.
Oh my gosh.
Normally you can sit for miles and miles, but not that day. The sky was yellow with smoke.
Well, you remember the one that we had in Pinter County out there, the Holly Shelter area, that
Yeah.
was so bad and growing. I could
Uh,
stand out in my front yard and
Mhm.
ashes falling
were
from the
falling.
sky.
The same thing in Wilmington.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And, yeah.
Why don't they burn during the winter?
When it's cold outside to
Well-
warm up the atmosphere, you mean?
Well, there you go.
There you
But
go.
at least you don't have to worry about the winds and I don't know. It's just
But it
crazy.
still might be dry.
Yeah, well, that's the problem when it gets dry, and
Mhm.
like in the springtime, nice and dry,
Mhm.
it's all that sort of good stuff.
And we've had a lot of warm days, which would have dried stuff out.
And
Leaves
wind
branches.
dries it out too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So we got like a double whammy of stuff going on for
And-
drying. Yeah.
Humidity was much lower too.
Mhm.
So, all right. Anything else happening? I need to check some levels here. So,
Okay. Well, you
I
check
know,
some
my-
levels.
I'm
And,
about to change headphones. This one makes me crazy sometimes. 1 minute it's loud, and next minute it's
well, Raven's over here pushing buttons, which
Oh.
probably will, will or will not help.
It'll just
depending.
do that. Sometimes sitting close to you, and my
Mhm.
headphones blast.
Well,
when I'm-
mine have been making my head hurt lately, so that's why I only put them
Oh.
on when somebody calls in, so I can hear them. And sometimes I can hear them just when Rayford has that board up a little bit. But if I want to hear them really well, I put them on. But while I can hear you guys talking. You're
we're
right
so
beside
grateful
me.
it's Friday. We need a
Yeah.
rest.
Mhm.
We'll come in Monday and everything will work fine. We're just aggravated.
It's
It just happens. It's just been a long week,
This
but we've got a
pollen
good
has been
show this
awful.
morning.
yeah.
yeah, tell us what's going on.
At 7:30, we have a JAG officer with the
Mhm.
United States Marine Corps, Jameson Brogy, is going to be calling in. He wrote legislation that the South Carolina legislation passed almost unanimously. And the legislation he wrote is called the North Carolina Reclaiming College Education on America's Constitutional Heritage Act, known
Okay,
as
stop. Hold on. Why did South Carolina approve that? If it's
no, this he had already got it passed in South
Oh, so he
Carolina.
wrote it in South Carolina and passed it. So
Yes.
now he's doing
Now
the same
he's
thing. with
doing North
okay,
Carolina.
Okay, tracking.
Okay, I'm
I've
sorry,
got
I
you.
didn't make that clear.
No, I was like, why did
Anyway,
South Carolina care? Okay.
It's known as the North Carolina REACH Act.
Okay.
It requires all college students to pass a 3-credit hour class where they have to read and study the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Federalist Papers to graduate college. Last year, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster signed into law the South Carolina REACH Act, which Mr. Brogy wrote. The South Carolina bill finally passed the South Carolina legislature last year after several years of trying, with a South Carolina Senate vote of 45-0 and a South Carolina House vote of 91-12. And he's already done a presentation with the Committee on Education in our Senate and House, and he's got some really, really good sponsors with this. I can. I put a big thing on our Facebook page last night about it, and the YouTube video where he actually presented it to the committee members. And I will also add today the North Carolina bill and the House and the Senate. They both have separate bills on it, so I'll add that to the page too. But it's really interesting. So he's going to talk to us about it today.
Well, I can. I mean, I have no problem with that. I think it, probably needed, but I can already foresee some challenges. Well, what about people that are not, like U.S. citizens that come here to call? I could see them. I mean, I could just see somebody challenging this in court, which I don't know why they would. I'm just making a statement. I'm all for it. I think everybody needs to know that, so I'm cool with it. But I can already in my mind see the challenges.
Well, you'll have to listen to what he's got to say. He talked about taking a poll, and only like 37% of college students were able to answer things like, what are the 3 types of government in our United States legislation? You got your legislative branch and your judicial.
But I'm shocked it's as high as 37%.
Yes,
I mean, how does that sound?
It is just crazy, some of this stuff.
I'm all for it. I'm all for this.
Yeah, he's got the North Carolina Faith and Freedom Coalition, the North Carolina Values Coalition, and several others that are supporting this. And they spoke also in committee on this, and we're pushing it. Where you're going to have problems is your big college universities like UNC.
Well, that's what
Duke,
I'm saying. I could just,
because they're so liberal.
Duke is very liberal.
Yes.
I can just see the challenges already in my mind. I mean, it doesn't make sense why they would, but I just see it.
Yeah, I think the other one was the North Carolina Family Policy Council. So all 3 of those coalitions and councils are supporting this bill. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But why wouldn't they know? I mean, I remember learning stuff when I was like in elementary school.
Yes, we did, and that's the whole point too. Why not make this a high school requirement?
That's what my daughter just texted. She said that should be a public school requirement in high school. And she also said, and she has a good point, is the school, she gets it, but she says, I have mixed feelings. Is the school or state going to pay for that class specifically? I mean, like I said, I see her, I agree. What if somebody says, I don't want to take this class, you're forcing me, I don't want to pay. That's what I'm saying. I can see some challenges.
And why,
but I agree with Megan, there should be
and
high
why
school.
only college?
Make it high school kids. I'm with
That's what
you.
I'm saying.
Because not every high school kid goes to college.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, included in this bill would require college students to take the 3-hour credit course. And it's on the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, the Federalist Papers, the Gettysburg Address, and Martin Luther King's letter from Birmingham jail.
I get it. But once again, what if you got somebody? We have a lot of foreign students that come here to go to college. What if they say, well, I don't live here. I'm not American. Why should I have? I mean, I can see I see both sides.
Right.
I can see the challenges, but I agree. Why are we not requiring this for high school kids?
Let me ask you a question now.
Because they are American citizens for the most part, unless they're here on a visa or something. But I mean, they would definitely need to know it.
So let's just go back to the makeup anyway here. What kind of requirements should there be to graduate from high school?
All right. Let's start with finances, like credit, bank accounts, that kind of thing. I definitely think
How about
that.
Civics.
And you know what else when I was in high school, and y'all know, I remember I graduated high school in 1987. So in the 80s, we were required to carry that, some kids had the baby, some had the little eggs that you carry, the eggs never made sense to me. I personally think starting in either 8th grade or early 9th grade, every kid should be required to carry one of those babies that cry at random, around, to teach them that parenthood is not 16 and Me on MTV. So maybe it will, because Onslow County's teen pregnancy rate is high, by the way, if you didn't know. We were number 1 in the state. We might be number 2 now.
Wow, number 2.
Yeah, but
it's terrible.
I think so. Raven, you want to know? I think civics, I think financial, and I think a parenting class required. And to be honest, I think a cooking class for everybody. One semester, you go take a cooking class. to learn how to fend for yourself.
We did that when I was in junior high. We took cooking classes, sewing classes.
But that stuff could be, I mean, mandatory, not as an elective. Like you have to take this to graduate in North Carolina. But the parenting class, give them one of those crying babies that, and you know, that they can't just shut off. Like you know, has to be a way to, you know, there's got to be some parameters. I think that should be mandatory for every kid in North Carolina high school system. Every kid.
Well,
line.
you know, we're not going to stop there because at 8:30 we have Maureen Garino. She is the mother of the Richlands High School soccer student, who daughter Caitlin, who's being denied to play soccer on her senior year because of her grades. She's taken AP classes, which are advanced placement classes. But the problem is the North Carolina High School Association, Athletics Association has got it to where, you know, it goes by semester, et cetera, your grades. But taking these AP classes, they don't give you a grade to the end of the year. So they have said, oh, you can't play soccer. You're not eligible. And I know that Senator Lazara is writing up legislation to introduce to have that change.
I think he and Phil Shepard together will have this overturned before the next week.
Yes. So there's that. And then yesterday it was announced and sent out that our Onslow County Board of Education is having a special meeting Wednesday morning, 9:00, concerning replacing the chairman. So,
and let's be clear. They're not replacing him off the board.
Right.
They're just trying to remove him as chairman.
Chair. Right.
So you know, everybody needs to be very clear. This isn't, you can't kick him off the board, so to speak, without a
other reasons.
Whatever. There's got to be a reason.
Now, I'm since Bill Lanier, you know, he's, thank goodness, was a great military guy, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Thank him for everything that he did. But he should understand this. The military on a regular basis will relieve a person of his command.
Absolutely.
Because
no confidence.
That's it.
Right.
A lack of confidence. So he should be able to understand that. If the rest of the board has a lack of confidence in him, you just suck it up, Bill.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is. It's not a big deal, nothing overly personal.
I think that the board needs to move past this. So, because right now the public does not, based on what I've seen all over social media and talking to people, the public currently doesn't have a lot of confidence in the board.
No, they don't.
And they need to get back, the board needs to get back to doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is, you know, ensuring the policies of the Onslow County school system are being adhered to, that the staff and students are being taken care of, not this other, what I call distracting things that keep occurring.
If you're a parent and you have a concern on something and you go before the board because you want to put your concern out there, but you've got to sit there and watch 15 minutes of infighting.
It wasn't 15, it was an hour.
Yeah, well, I was just
the other night.
But it's dismaying. I mean, you're just like, why am I wasting my time? And a lot of people have lost confidence in our school system.
Unfortunately, and the teachers out there, and I was corrected yesterday, there are 27,000 students in our public school system here, not 25. So 27,000 kids. Aren't we better than that? Can't we get down to business that will help them and the teachers and the school administration?
We need to.
Because how would you like to be the school superintendent in a situation where you've got a chairman of the board and then the rest of the board? What can you do?
Right.
Caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
Wow. I wouldn't want to be there.
Mm-mm.
That's like the county manager being caught between a rock and a hard place with one county commissioner and the rest of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's ridiculous to have that kind of an issue. So
but
grow up.
There's just too many other things going on that need to be addressed.
Absolutely.
That were talked about. You know, teacher pay, in my opinion, and teacher safety is the number one problem.
And
I think
student safety
and
too.
student
Yes.
safety. Yes. It's all, I mean, they're all rolled up into one.
So how many hours have been wasted bickering so far during
during the meeting, but what about all the hours not during the meeting? Like, who knows? a lot.
Countless.
Yeah. We just need to move on from it. Everyone needs to move on because I do think, I had seen people say that the whole board needs to be removed. I don't agree with that statement.
No, I don't agree
There's
with that either.
I think they all bring good
I don't
points.
think any of them need to be removed.
None of them need to be removed.
Okay.
No, not at all.
I think they need to just change the chairmanship, and and get back on the board of what they are supposed to be doing and stop this other nonsense
I
stuff.
mean, you don't put your dirty laundry out to air in public. I mean,
but you need to clean the dirty laundry.
But it got pushed to that limit because people weren't willing to talk and compromise.
I think a lot of this is just personality conflicts.
Yes.
That has gotten way out of control.
Yes.
That's exactly what I think.
I agree.
So we just need to get back.
Got to take a break.
Oh, is it that time?
Yes.
Wow, we just talked up 20 minutes.
You're live and local Real Talk here on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of cost possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back down at Tideline Marine. I was down there yesterday all day long. What a great group of people coming through there. Woo, coming through, looking at boats. Some people picking up their boats, or new boats. It's really, really fun. And I miss both of you. Neither one of you came by to get a boat.
As soon as I buy my stove. Still haven't
You
done
haven't
it.
bought a stove yet?
I'm telling you, it's unreal.
Okay, you're just dragging your heels.
I haven't made up my mind.
Jeff is waiting for you.
I know it. I'm sorry, Jeff.
So he'll convince you that you got. You did see the report from the propane industry, right?
Yes.
That there's nothing wrong with propane.
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean it's been around for a long time. Just get on by there and see Jeff too.
Just a plug, great guys. You're great guys.
Yeah, there
great
you
guys.
are.
All right.
And Tideline got some really fine people working there too.
Yes.
Both out in the shop, out at the docks, inside the
sold
store.
stoves.
Yeah. Well, we could probably get you one.
Yeah.
But they got some new lures. The gentleman who made the brand new lures that we've got in there on display, he's bringing some more by. He's got some new designs. So you need to stop by and just look at it. It's right at the front desk, front counter. So take a look at those lures. Reasonably priced, and there's some top water stuff, and there's some stuff for trolling or for casting. You will be impressed. He's going to bring by some more gold colored stuff.
Nice.
That will go over well. If nothing else, I can use them as an earring or something. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, you could.
Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. There is a gale warning in effect. It goes into effect this evening, and it's going to be here through tomorrow morning. So all night tonight and into tomorrow. Be careful. Winds today out of the south, not bad, 5 to 10, increasing 10 to 15 late, not too bad. Seas 3 to 5, not too good. 2 to 3 on the beach, but you got to get out there. Dominant period 9 seconds. So this morning you can get through the inlet. That will decrease in the afternoon. The inlet will be rougher. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop late in the day. Tomorrow, northwesterly winds 25 to 30 knots. Diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Seas 6 to 9 feet tomorrow. Dominant period 9 seconds. Sounds and rivers very rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon. And on Sunday, northeasterly winds 10 to 15, becoming easterly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. 3 to 5 footers, except around 2 feet near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Today, rain, according to this, it literally says mainly after 9 a.m. High today of 59. Gusty winds with gusts as high as 16 miles an hour. Tonight, chance of rain between 9 and midnight. It will start out cloudy and then it will clear, but the low will be 38. And the gusts tonight are going to be even higher than today with gusts as high as 24 miles an hour. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 57 and very, very gusty. Tomorrow night, clear, low of 36. On Sunday, rain likely, mainly after 1 p.m. Well, there goes what I had planned to do Sunday. Mostly cloudy with a high of 55. Calm winds. Wow, really? Sunday night, rain, low of 48. Really? 48. Monday, okay, looks a little better, guys. Mostly cloudy, a high of 65. But when I'm looking on here, now it's quite a few days out. Tuesday night, the low is 29.
What?
Rayford.
What happened?
Yeah, I know.
It's cold. It's going to be cold all week. Girl, it's 55 for the high on Wednesday, 53 on Tuesday. This is crazy nonsense.
Turn my heat back
Yes, I had to turn mine on the other day. I got cold.
Well, I got a fire ready to build.
I'm probably going to do a fire
All I
tonight.
got to do is light it.
You've not really used much firewood this year,
Not
have you?
much.
It's been a mild winter.
Yeah,
So he wants to use up what he's got.
We had that one time that was there. I got enough for 2 more fires.
Okay, I have a very quick rant.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and it's about Duke Energy. And I don't care if they're listening or not, because Duke Energy, I really hate you right now. I just want you to know more than I did earlier.
Why?
So we're moving our office at work, and we're moving to a new building, and we're moving at the end of the month. And I called yesterday, Duke Energy. I was so disheartened when I found out we have Duke, not Jones Onslow. I was so upset. But anyway, called it established service. You know how much of the deposit? She's like, we're going to require a deposit because of business.
Girl.
Okay. Y'all better hold on to your britches. You know how much she told me we have to pay? I have not even told my business partner because he's going to have a cow. $2,300.
Oh my God. It's a deposit.
As a deposit.
Girl, I could tell you another story that right in there with yours. When I tried to get electricity for a GOP headquarters back in 2015. And the fight I had with Duke, and I had to go through the North Carolina Utilities Commission to get help. Let's just say
Lord,
that.
please don't tell me I'm gonna have these problems. I'm already annoyed. So anyway, I know we have a caller. I had to vent because I needed to tell somebody. Yeah.
There's a young man on the line here. He's going
Yes.
like, I really want to jump in.
I know. He's like, what have I done?
Do the honors.
On the line with us right now is Jameson Broggie. He is an attorney with the United States Marine Corps. I guess that terms is JAG officer. And he was the one that I was telling you about earlier that got legislation pushed through in South Carolina just about unanimously on requiring a certain college course for 4-year college for students to graduate. And right now he's working on pushing this REACH Act, which is Reclaiming College Education on America's Constitutional Heritage Act. And he's working with our legislature now to try to push this through and make it a requirement. And he's already been and spoke before the committees there. And so I'm going to let him take it from there. Good morning, Jameson.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Thank you so much for inviting me on. This is really exciting. That's right. My name is Jameson. I'm an attorney in Moorhead, and I am a Marine. But this is all I'm doing on my off time when I have the time to. So every time I work on it, I have to take time off because it's not related to my day job. And so what this is, it's called the North Carolina REACH Act. It'll require all college students in North Carolina to take a class on America's founding documents. Like, why are we talking about this? Why is this needed? Well, in a free republic, citizens, we govern ourselves through the elected leaders we elect and send to our state legislatures and to Washington. But the problem we're seeing today is that so many of our citizens, including college graduates, know so little bit about our country's first principles and how our government even operates. 10% of college graduates think that Judge Judy is on the Supreme Court. A third can't even name a single right protected by the First Amendment, which includes freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Anyway, that's the reason why this is needed and why I've been working on this.
I understand. What would you say to those who say that this is already done in high school?
So that's a great question. I would point out to a couple different things. The first is, yes, it is done in high school. Well, theoretically, that is. Yes. And darn well, it should be done again when you get to college. When you choose to go to college, you're choosing to learn some new topics. You're also choosing to learn some familiar topics, but at a deeper level. Just like you may take English or math or science in high school, it's a requirement when you go to college to learn some of those things again. The other thing I'd point out is what our universities are doing right now is very unfortunate. Both UNC Chapel Hill and NC State University require, not an elective, but require students to complete 3 credit hours in global understanding. You just look up the core curriculum of UNC Chapel Hill or NC State, see that right on their website. That's a requirement to take a class in global understanding. But there's no requirement for American government. And I think, you and I and most reasonable people would probably believe that American government and our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, our Federalist Papers, it's a little bit more important than global understanding. And then, again, kind of going back to what we spoke about, college graduates know so little bit about our country. But we did include in the legislation, by the way, that if you demonstrated college proficiency in high school by taking an IB, AP, or dual enrollment class, you can be exempted from the college requirement if you've exempted that college level proficiency.
All right. Kelly, you had a question you wanted to ask.
Well, I had a question I wanted to know. What happens, or do you foresee any kind of pushback from, North Carolina? We have a lot of foreign students that come here. What if somebody comes here and says, I'm not an American citizen. Why should I have to pay to take this class? Or what about people that say, who's going to pay for this? I don't want to take this class. Why should I be forced to pay for it? Is there any provisions in place to kind of get around that?
Yeah, so for your foreign citizen provision, I would say a couple of things. Well, number one, it only applies if you're getting a degree. So if you're getting a bachelor's or associate degree, and that's important. If you're a foreign exchange student and you're just here for a semester, it's not going to apply to you because you're not getting a degree. You're just taking some classes while you're here. However, if you're coming to the United States and you're getting a degree here and therefore you're perceivably going to stay in this country, well, you need to know how our country operates. One thing that's so wonderful about our country is that you can come here from any place, but if you embrace its ideals, you become not just a citizen, but an American, as Ronald Reagan pointed out in a speech in 1988. You move to France, you become a French citizen, but you never become a Frenchman. So you move to the United States, you can become an American. So if you're a foreign person who's coming here, we're so glad you're here. But if you're getting a degree here and perceivably going to stay here, you need to know how this country operates. Point about what about the money that's going to cost here? Well, again, just a couple of things. Number one, we're seeing that they are requiring students to take global understanding. So there's money spent there to require students to take global understanding. You could use some of that same funds on something that's more important, like an American government class. And I'm going to read a couple of the classes that students can take as an option to fulfill that global understanding. Now, these are real classes. These are not. I have to preface that because it almost sounds like it's made up. Some of the things I'm about to read are real classes on Chapel Hill's website that people can take to fulfill that global understanding requirement. Global Geography 435, Global Environmental Justice. Music 248, Gender on the Musical Stage. English 248, Intersectionality, Race, Gender, Sexuality, and Social Justice. Korean 237, Rebel, Lover, Martyr, Gender and Sexuality in North Korea and South Korean Screen Cultures. I can go on a list. There's over 600 classes that can be used to fulfill that requirement of just things that are really nonsense. And then compared to our founding documents, I put in the bill that this American government class requires that students read the founding documents for themselves in their entirety. So the professor can make any comments he wants about it, but I put in the bill that reading them entirety, which is listed in the bill, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, 5 of the Federalist Papers, the Gettysburg Address, and Martin Luther King's letter from Birmingham jail. The students have to read those for their entirety, which is a lot more important than these things that they are spending their money on.
Yeah, I agree.
Jameson, I agree that, all students, I think all Americans should be, have the ability, the capability of taking these classes. But why not start them even earlier? I know that the high schools offer some, but it's very minuscule.
It should be mandatory in high school.
It should be mandatory, but even in middle school, there should be an introduction and then followed up by, because in elementary school, we get basically an introduction to math.
Well, I learned the preamble in middle school. I had to recite it.
Yes.
What did you learn what it meant in high school?
It was middle school.
Middle school.
We just
I just remember I had to
There you
stand up in class and say it.
Yes.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe. I don't know.
Learning something is not the same as
Oh, I
memorizing
agree.
it.
I agree.
So why not in at least start in middle school with an introductory course and then move from there?
I'm all about it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for that comment. And I'd say absolutely. And the answer to that is both and. Absolutely should be done there. And then again, when you go to that deeper level, if you do go to college, and that's where the and comes in, and you should do it again. But yes, absolutely, great comments. This really should be even started much, much younger. Absolutely.
All right, very good. All right.
What kind of support is the REACH Act receiving right now?
So they're one thing's really great is so in both the Senate and House Education committees, we have all 4 co-chairs from both of those committees, from both chambers as sponsors, which is just incredible because a lot of times when legislation is filed, I used to work for the South Carolina Senate many years ago before I went to law school and before I joined the Marine Corps. A lot of legislation is filed and it goes to committee and that's where it dies. So what's really neat to see is we have a total of 28 sponsors, senators and representatives from both chambers, including all 4 co-chairs of both the Senate and House Higher Education Committees as sponsors. So that's really great to see. We just had our first committee in the House of Representatives last week. There were about 3 members of the 17-member committee who fought it for about 40 minutes and were very upset that we were going to have some control over our state universities, which I'll just remind the General Assembly created our state universities. They created UNC, so it's certainly appropriate to have some control over it. But we did just win out a committee last week, so that was really great. And then some other folks that are supporting it. You may be familiar with the North Carolina Faith and Freedom Coalition. It's just a wonderful grassroots group here in North Carolina. They're supporting it along with the North Carolina Family Policy Council and the North Carolina Values Coalition. They all sent letters. Tammy Fitzgerald, who's the executive director of the Values Coalition, she testified in favor of it last week along with me. There's also a wonderful group called the American Councils of Trustees and Alumni, which is a national organization that basically just does analytics of what all our colleges are doing nationally. They have a wonderful database of over 1,200 colleges in our country, analyzing how many of them actually require American government and just basics compared to some of the nonsense classes we're seeing. And one of their vice presidents came down and testified in favor of it. So at our first committee hearing last week, again, we got the sponsors of all 4 chairs. We had some great people behind it. And then we even had several people testify in favor of it. We had no one testify against it. even though the college is behind the scenes, they're kind of like working behind it. And we did have about 3 members of the 17-member committee who were fighting it and did vote no on it. But we overcame that and we won, and they lost. So that was exciting.
Okay, very
That's
good.
good. Well, one last question. If passed, what kind of impact do you think that the REACH Act will have on our state?
Well, if passed, we estimate that 345,000 college students will take this class every single year. And we get those numbers from the UNC system, the community college system, the numbers from both from the total number across all 4 years that you're going to have in a 4-year degree and the 2-year degree at the community colleges, and kind of averaging it out. What does that look like roughly per year? So our estimate is 345,000 college students will be reading the Constitution, reading the Declaration of Independence, reading the Federalist Papers for themselves every year as part of a college level 3 credit hour class. And what does that look like? Well, in a state of 10.5 million people, which is what we are here in North Carolina, in 3 years, 10% of North Carolina citizens will have taken this class. Can you imagine how wonderful that would be when we have our discussions just about like basic American principles, like individual responsibility, freedom of speech, free enterprise, free markets, these kind of discussions, how much easier that is to have when in 3 years, 10% of our citizens will have taken this class. So that's kind of the statewide impact we're looking at. And so I really hope it makes a difference. There's about 8 states. I wrote the South Carolina law. The Governor McMaster signed into law in 2021 that passed the South Carolina Senate 45-0, and the House of Representatives 91-12. But there's about 8 states in the country that have similar laws to this, and I hope North Carolina becomes the 9th and has that kind of statewide impact.
Gotcha.
All right, very good. Jameson, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And we did post this information on our. I'm sorry. We did post this information on our Facebook page to share with everyone, and I'll be sending you an email a little bit later on for something else.
Excellent. Hey, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
Whether it's a quick bite to go or a sit-down lunch meeting, make the Burrow Restaurant your midday go-to eatery. From small plates and appetizers, sandwiches, burgers, and salads, to steak, seafood, chicken, and pasta, there's something for everyone, including a kids menu. Or pick up a Low Country boil from the Burrow's Low Country Kitchen for your next office or family get-together. And craft cocktails to go. Restrictions apply. Ask for details. The Burrow Restaurant, 109 North Front Street in historic downtown Swansboro.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back live and local. And coming up this morning on Sports Talk with Chris Rayner is he and Tim Foster will be co-hosting.
Yes.
There we go. It's going to be fun. And they've got a guest. Let's see, Beverly Marley.
Yes.
Coach Beverly Marley. She coached at Dixon High School and is a Campbell University graduate. She was the head volleyball coach at Campbell and then went on to coach volleyball, basketball, and track at Southwest Onslow.
32 years.
32 years.
32 years.
Wow. Had to put up with a lot.
Yes.
So anyway, that's happening. An iconic star passed away yesterday, both TV and
Who was
movies.
that? I missed
Robert Blake.
Really?
Yeah.
Beretta.
Beretta. He was 89 years old.
Wow.
Died from a heart disease, according to his family.
Hmm.
He died at home with family around him peacefully. Had long-time heart issues. He was, I guess, a lot of us knew him from the days of Beretta back in the 70s for about 3 or 4 years. He ended up, but he was in a lot of movies. A lot of movies.
Wasn't he charged with
With murder.
committing murder?
Yeah. And he spent a year in jail awaiting trial.
Mm-hmm.
A year in a lockup.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's what was one of the famous quotes from the TV character Beretta.
That sounds almost like if that doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah. That's about it. He was acquitted. He did during his time in jail. He did interviews with some stuff and said, "There's no way. I had no part in killing my wife." And the jury found him not guilty of that murder about 3 years after she was killed or shot.
I remember that, yes.
Let's see, he was one of the things that a lot of folks don't realize, maybe some of the old timers do. You remember the series Our Gang?
Yeah.
It was the Little Rascals.
Yes.
He was one of the Little Rascals.
Really? I don't remember.
As a little kid. Yeah. He appeared in dozens of the Red Ryder Western films, had roles on The Big Noise, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and The Black Rose.
So he was a rascal. That's where he went wrong.
He was one of the rascals. He was also in Cold Blood, which was directed by Richard Brooks, but he starred in that film. That was in the 1960s, late 60s. But 75 to 78, he was in the TV cop series Beretta.
Yes, I remember watching Beretta.
He was a kind of an unusual character.
Yes.
And do you remember what he carried around on his shoulder?
A parrot or something, a bird.
It's close. It's a cockatoo.
Yeah, a bird.
I remember
Now,
watching that.
here's your trivia for the day, in case you want to get into some trivia. What was the bird's name?
Oh my gosh, I do not remember.
I used to watch this.
Wasn't it some kind of pirate name or something?
Yeah, it was a pirate name.
Yes.
Fred.
Oh, well, I flunked.
Was it Fred? Really?
I missed that one.
Fred.
I told you, Kelly, I'm not good at trivia.
See, look, y'all, I've been trying to get, when I was at Sturgeon City last night, they had a flyer. There's a science trivia. They're looking for teams and you get prizes. I love doing trivia. I had a trivia team and we just stopped going when COVID hit. And we won a lot. We even won the regional championship, and I won like $1,500 out of that. We won $1,500 a piece. But anyway, so I'm trying to get these two in here this morning to let's form a science team. It's a science trivia, and they told me no.
I didn't say no.
So I need some team members.
I asked, do I have to individually give a question? And if we do it as a group,
you get the question, you do it as a group.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put earbuds in both of your ears.
Yes.
And then I will call.
No, I'm not going to cheat.
I will call in the answers to you.
No, that's cheating. I want to know it. I either know it or I don't. No, I don't cheat, Rayford. It's not going to happen.
Good morning, caller. Who's this?
This is Eric Whitfield.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Eric, can you hold on for just a second? We got to play two commercials, right?
Hold on, Eric.
Don't go away. We'll
Sounds
talk
good.
to you. You're live and local, Real Talk. We'll be right back.
Towing, fish catching, mud splashing, kid hauling, shopping, mauling, ball throwing, beach going fun are you getting into this year? Do it in a new Ram or Jeep from National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Come get bodacious savings now during the Jeep Celebration event. Visit National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Highway 17 in Jacksonville.
It's on National Thing. Go National!
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with the Jacksonville Heating Contractor Service Agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Angry Ginger Irish Pub St. Patrick's Day weekend celebration is almost here. Friday, March 17th, inside the pub, check out live music from Paradise Pints from 5 to 8 p.m. And don't miss DJ Donna and the Sham Rock and Roll Karaoke Contest semifinals at 10 p.m. Outside in the Garden Pavilion, listen to Matt Boland from 5 to 8 p.m. And Freeway 9 to 12 midnight. Saturday, March 18th in the Garden Pavilion. Come join in the fun with DJ Donna and the Sham Rock and Roll Karaoke Contest finals from 4 to 7, and our headliners, Tan and Sober Gentlemen, from 8 to 11 p.m. Back inside the pub, it's Big Sam from 11 to 2 a.m. This is the biggest St. Patrick's Day party in Jacksonville. Remember, the Garden Pavilion will be open every Friday and Saturday through the end of the year, opening at 5 p.m. Also available for private parties, weddings, and special events. The Angry Ginger Irish Pub, located at 1202 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville. Call 910-333-9198 for a complete menu, catering, and more. Hit up Angry Ginger online at angrygingeririshpub.com.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And you just heard that Angry Ginger spot too. Don't forget, the next Friday is St. Patty's Day, and we'll be live from Angry Ginger from 4 o'clock to I think 6 o'clock. So y'all come on by and say hey.
Yes.
Eric, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing really good.
What's going on in your world?
What's up?
I was going to comment on Tuesday night school board meetings. I have, I guess, I don't know if it's unpopular because it's hard to know what everybody thinks, but I don't think Bill should step down, and I don't think they should replace him, and I'll tell you why. If you look at that board, 3 of them are new, so they're not going to take his place.
Right.
All right. So that leaves Melissa and Ken Reddick. Well, I'll tell you about Bill and Melissa. They are authentic. They are who they are. So if they choose another chairman, it's going to be Ken Reddick. And if there's corruption going on in the higher echelon of the upper staff, Ken can make it smooth and disappear, and nobody will notice it because he's really good. That's the thing with Trump is he was not a smooth, hide everything. But Ken is capable of doing that and being professional and keeping everything quiet and calm. But Bill is authentic. He is who he is, and the voters know where they stand. So it makes it a little bit, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And Ken is professional. He will make it, look like everything's on the up and up. And nobody will get mad. There'll be no controversy. But Bill is real.
You don't think they would choose Melissa as their chair?
No. I think that's who Bill was talking about when he said somebody wouldn't step up to the plate. I think that's who he was talking about. I think that they offered her the position.
I don't know. I think
way.
she'd make a good chair. That's just my opinion.
I think
I'd like
the
to
best
see,
choice.
I think they should make her the chair. But
I think so too. But I don't think she'll do it.
Really?
I need to ask her.
Well,
I'm going to ask her why she
We've
wouldn't.
talked about it, and
She'd
she
make a good
said,
one.
"Oh yeah, I think so too."
Yeah.
But she's a mom. She's got a lot on her plate right now. She's going to school, and being a chairman of the board takes up a lot.
It does
of
take
time,
a lot.
a lot of time.
Yeah, I think she'd make a good one though.
Yes.
That's my opinion though. I didn't see. I don't know Ken Reddick. I don't know him.
I was
So
just scared with Ken because Ken he's professional. He's like Barry Collins. He'll do what he needs to do to protect his career. and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
He's
but
retired. He doesn't have to be on the Board of Education.
Right.
He chose to be.
But he's a professional. You know,
Okay.
he's got 30, 40, 50 years experience, you know, walking the line, and you know what I mean?
I hear what
Bill
you're saying.
is who Bill is. Ken is who he needs to be.
Okay.
Interesting.
And so I just think it's safer to have Bill there because we know where we stand. Even we don't agree with Bill, which I don't.
Interesting viewpoint.
He has
Yes.
He has a hatred. Bill has a hatred for the freedom of speech, but it's clear that he does. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Interesting opinion.
That
So
is one.
We're safe with Bill, and we can get better information because Bill can't hide it as well as Ken could.
Eric, you never cease to surprise us.
What interesting perspective, though.
Good
Yeah.
perspective.
It is a good
And then
interesting. Huh.
What Bill said was true too. He said that if he goes, okay, well, what if they don't like the next year? Because they voted for him. That's what puzzles me. They chose him, flaws and all. They chose him.
Okay.
Stick with it. Commit.
Good point.
Do we not know how to commit to people anymore? We just throw them away.
Wow.
Thank you, Eric.
Can't argue.
Okay,
yeah. That'll
Eric.
get people thinking right there.
Appreciate it,
So,
sir.
I mean,
Eric's always
I'm
stirring
not
us stuff.
cheerleader, but he should stay there. We're committed as people. That's who our chairman is.
I tell you what,
We should be loyal.
now you're thinking in a different direction, and that's
No, you
what I
sound
do a
like,
lot.
you sound like a politician, Eric.
Sounds a little bit like
I
me.
am a politician. All
Thank
right,
you, sir.
guys, have a good day.
Have a good
You
one.
too, Eric.
Jennifer, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, we're hanging in
I'm
here.
going to switch complete gears from what y'all been talking about.
Okay.
But full disclosure, everybody is okay. But a little trivia for you.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You
no.
get a
Y'all are
call-
testing me this morning.
You get a call that a loved one has been taken to the trauma center out on the base.
Uh-oh.
From the time you pull into the visitor center, knowing that a loved one is in the trauma center. Guess how long it takes you to get a pass?
I'd say an hour.
52
Oh,
minutes.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
I've had this problem
Now.
before. Yeah.
The girls that was at the door, they were very nice. I don't have a problem with them. They were doing their job. After all of the paperwork finally got filled out, and then it was given to the people behind the counter, I can promise you one thing: that is not their dream job. They did not
Oh, God.
aspire to end up at that little counter.
Okay.
Well,
And then another, by the time you get there and find your way in, needless to say, long story short, we got a call from the nursing home that mom had fallen out of her wheelchair.
Oh,
boy.
no.
Because it was not witnessed, and she is on the level of blood thinners that she is, and the suspect of a head injury or any internal injuries, they had to have her checked to make sure there wasn't any internal bleeding, and that bumped her up to what they considered trauma, so she had to go to Naples. By the time, now we were already in town, we were on our way, making a couple of stops, and then going to see her.
Uh-huh.
By the time we got the pass, I got to that wonderful place, pulled up, got my husband out of the van, then drove back down to the back 40 and parked, got back up there, got in, checked in, went through this, and I understand the security. They need to have security. It is on a military base. I get all of that. But by the time we were finally, that they called and said, Miss Blizzard, you can go back, I was back there just about 10 minutes. So the doctor comes in and he says, okay, everything checks out fine.
Oh, my gosh. I
And
would have been so
we can discharge her.
Well,
Thank
I'm going
God
to tell
for
you right
that.
now, Jennifer, I'm glad you brought that up because this is something I said before. So I know for a fact that my husband's listening, and I know for a fact Royce is probably listening, and I'm assuming maybe this county manager is listening. So here's what I think should happen, because I've complained about this actually before, because I had a good friend that couldn't get on because of this reason. Our county officials need to set a meeting immediately, not 5 weeks from now, not 6 months from now, but immediately with those base officials. And they need to say, we are going to stay locked in this room until we come with a streamlined process where the citizens of Onslow County, when they have a loved one in that trauma center, do not have to spend an hour trying to get a dang pass to go onto that to the hospital.
Same thing. I agree.
We need to have guards at the door, and they don't go to the bathroom. They don't take a smoke break. They don't do anything until they all sit down as thinking adults and come up with a plan, because y'all wanted to make that on the base a trauma center. Now make it accessible for the people that are not military affiliated to be able to get on. Bottom line.
And see, this is in my mind from the time that they made the Naval Hospital the trauma center for Onslow County. It was always in the back of my mind. Well, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I said it when it happened.
What about civilians?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what's wrong with Onslow. Why Onslow Memorial cannot have a
I don't want to answer that on the air. Oh, don't let
if you trace it all the way back, it comes back to money and all of that. That's the bottom line. That's what it will come down to.
Mm.
But I'm sitting there, and all kinds of scenarios are going through my head. I wonder how many times I would have been shot by now if
Yes.
I had gotten the phone call that one of the kids was in a horrible, horrible accident, and you've got to get there fast if you want to see him.
I wouldn't get to see him because I'd be in jail.
I'm telling you, when I tell you I would fight somebody at that gate,
Yes.
I would be on the news. I'm gonna tell you now.
And here's what it all falls back to is the mindset. Now I'm all for the military. I don't have a problem with the military, but they don't think about your average ordinary civilian. I go in, I'm filling out a little girl there at the front. She says something about, now it's just you. And I said, my husband's in the car. And she looks at me, she goes, oh, well, honey, if you got your husband with you, he can just use his base ID. I looked at her, I said, honey, my husband doesn't have a base ID. We just pure old country, corn-fed civilians.
And that's the mindset. Not everybody in this county is military affiliated.
Exactly. And then she tells me, she says, oh, well, he's got to come in. I said, excuse me? I said, honey, so I explained to her. She said, ma'am, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. He's got to come in and be able to sign in here.
Oh, my God. That makes it even worse.
So I had
to
go out to the van, unload my husband.
Oh, you're kidding me. They could have walked out there.
Wow. It was just honestly crazy. Just crazy. Well, we didn't know what was going on. So, of course, on our way over there, we called Terry's brother, Kenneth. So Kenneth says, well, I'll go ahead and head that way. We, of course, got there first. We were actually getting our passes, getting ready to leave when, by the time he was filling out his paperwork, he had made it inside the place. So we get to the hospital. We go through security there. They let me go back with Mom. Terry's sitting there in the waiting room. Kenneth gets there. And because there are two people that have already checked in for Linda Blizzard, even though I'm back with her and Terry's in the waiting room and can see his brother, they won't let him go into the waiting room.
Oh, heck no. Mm-mm. Okay. Once again, Onslow County officials, I know some of y'all listen. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all see how broken this is? All right, we got to take a break. Oh, my God. I'm like getting chest.
Jennifer, thank you.
Kelly's got to settle down.
Thank you for that, Jennifer.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Oh, my goodness gracious. What a mess we have. You're live and local, Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Don't go too far from your radio because we will be right back.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. The bodies of 2 South Carolina men killed in Mexico are returned to the United States. The 2 friends kidnapped with them were rescued Tuesday. And now 5 men are found tied up with a note supposedly from a drug cartel.
It essentially says the Gulf Cartel condemns the attack which took place last Friday. It apologizes to the Americans and the innocent Mexican woman who died in the shooting. And it lays blame on the 5 men who are tied up on the ground, essentially saying they were undisciplined and they took action without any orders from cartel leadership.
Fox's Bill Malugin. Alec Murdaugh's conviction and life sentences for his wife and son's murders are appealed by his defense attorneys.
The trial lasting 6 weeks, but deliberations lasting about 3 hours. One of Murdaugh's defense attorneys, South Carolina State Senator Dick Harpootlian, taking to Twitter to say this is the next step in the legal process to fight for Alec's constitutional right to a fair trial.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Phew. We're back.
Take a breath.
You know, that's what our callers are all about.
That's
The reason
right.
we get information from people with opinions, people with who experience issues, whether it's potholes on the road or whatever. I don't care. If you got something that needs to be aired that other people might not be aware of, feel free to reach out. And right now we have Tim, right? Good morning, Tim. We had Tim.
He switched over.
We'll try it again. Hello, Tim.
Oh, I'm not Tim.
That's George.
Hey, George. How are you?
Hi. Do you want me to hang up so you can talk?
No, go ahead.
Go
You're
ahead.
on here.
Oh, okay. I don't want to use a name because it's a customer of ours at Tideline, but interesting observation on Onslow Memorial that a retired doctor, customer of ours, has brought up is that they watched, for example, a non-violent car accident happen in front of Onslow Memorial Hospital, and then the EMS takes them to the base rather than across the street to the first level of care. It was across the street, Onslow Memorial Hospital. And the joke was it's because Onslow Memorial Hospital is a basic first aid station and is not capable of providing any type of care whatsoever. And so I think that's also an issue we have to look at, is that because if a patient is in an ambulance and says, I don't want to go to this hospital, I want to go to that one, they may not even know the slew of events that they're causing for someone to come see them in a hospital or anything like that. And it's all because they don't have faith in their community hospital. And so they're wanting to go onto base because they know it's a better level of care, a higher level of care, if you will. So, or thinking that people wanted to get transported to New Bern or something like that. So, also I've had a challenge that maybe we need to look at the hospital in Jacksonville, wonder why that doesn't have capabilities and why people aren't wanting to use that.
Okay, I've got some basic points here. A couple of months ago or so, there was a shooting on White Street. If you don't know where that is, it's within a good
Walking distance.
You could throw a rock and hit the parking lot.
A good guy with a decent arm could throw a rock or a baseball that far.
I think I might have been able to do that. Yeah.
And this person was transported straight to Naval, where DOA.
Right.
Now,
You talk about a waste of taxpayer money, not on that poor young man's fault, but like of everything else involved in that.
Now, when they picked me up, they repeatedly asked me in the ambulance where I wanted to go. They didn't know the extent of what I had. At the time, I said, well, in my mind, I'm over here within less than a mile from the Onslow Memorial Hospital. It's 9 miles to Naval? And they said, yeah, about that. I said, well, to me, it makes sense, just in case there is a cardiac event, to drive my butt to Onslow. That's where I went.
Yes.
Sorry. I guess if I was unconscious, it would have taken me to Naval.
That's a scary thought in
I think that
itself.
there's the direction of, and maybe there's just not a clear direction of which I don't understand, because you're supposed to go, at least many, many moons ago, to the first level
Absolutely.
of care capable of taking care of the patient in the ambulance.
Let me do it to you this
Onslow is
way.
Closer. It doesn't matter if they're military. They go to Onslow. If they're like,
That's right.
we can't handle this, you transport.
They stabilize and transport. Here's what used to happen at Wrightsville Beach. Okay, you know where that is. It's right there in New Hanover County. Right off of the island was something called Babies Hospital. They took no patients over 12. I went there as a child. Okay. When we lived there. But Baby's Hospital, guess where they stopped with a drowning victim when they were leaving the beach? At Baby's Hospital.
Right.
I don't care if he's 80 years old or 8 years old.
Yeah.
That's where they stopped.
And you gum up the actual trauma care of the base if it's required, if you drive every single 911 call to the base because it's a 911 call.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't have to stop and get, a pass to get aboard the base.
For an hour. I just, if somebody don't do something about that process,
Anyway.
Yeah, they need to fix
All right,
that.
George. Thank you, sir.
Yep, you have a wonderful day.
You too, George.
Tim, are you
Tim?
still there?
Yep, I'm here.
There you are.
There you are.
We couldn't hear you before.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had an emergency call.
Oh,
I
okay.
stepped over right quick.
That's fine.
You're the best if you can get up and just Robbie could probably do it by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Every base has a commanding officer.
Yep.
Every base.
Yeah.
And
Where'd you go?
bases, y'all. Huh?
Okay,
I'm
you're
here.
back. Go
Are
ahead.
you there? Okay, I go to all different kind of bases. The hardest base to get on that I have ever gotten on is Camp Lejeune. And it all starts with the commanding officer because they can change. I go to Cherry Point without a pass, bring in my driver's license, my insurance, registration, and less than 15 minutes I'm on. I go to Seymour Johnson. I went to Hunter Airfield this week. Walked in there, had my driver's license. They run a check on me, handed me a day pass. And I have asked that same question before. Why is Camp Lejeune so hard? Well, it's the officer that does, ever who's in charge. It's the way it's done. So, okay. So bring it. They probably don't know if somebody will bring it to the commanding officer in charge of Camp Lejeune. Don't start at the bottom and go up. Start at the top and go down. I'm guaranteeing you'll get it changed somehow, some way. I've seen it done before. I'm telling you, folks, it's the hardest base to get on. And I've never seen, and I've had so many. The only other base harder to get on than that is Marsaw.
Well, yeah.
And, you got to be on the list to get on Marsaw. That's high security. But Camp Lejeune is, and another thing, the equipment, I don't know what it is about the equipment. I went 3 different times to get a D-Biz card one time, and they kept giving me a paper D-Biz card. So what's wrong? Printer's down. What's wrong? I go back. Be back in 30 days. Went back 30 days. Give me another paper pad. What's wrong? Printer's still down. 3rd time. Went in there. Printer's still down. Wait a minute, y'all. You need to tell me the printer's been down for 3 months. Well, yeah, and then you're right. The ones back there in the back, that was not their dream job. They are stuck there because of the benefits or what have you. And I've had more help out of the Marines that will be sitting in there than I have any of the civilians, except what you said, what Jennifer said, the girl sitting up front. Very helpful lady, very good lady, very sweet lady. I've been in there, and you have to give them your paperwork. They give you an appointment. You have to come back during that appointment. They have lost my paperwork before. Thank God I made, I gave them a copy. But Camp Lejeune is terrible to get on. It's very, very terrible. And I'm just saying, somebody needs to go to the top and say, look, you got a problem. And that's the best way to solve it, because I can't. They won't listen to some old.
Back in the day,
like
when we could just stop at the Sneeds Ferry Gate and just say, hey, I need a pass to go through to Hubert or to Main Side or to Main Gate or whatever, no problem. Except for me, one time, everybody was going through, but I was driving a marked car. It was a WECT car. Okay, I pulled up there, going to slide through because I had supposed to meet some folks aboard the base for a story. General Gray was his name. I pulled up there, and guy says, waved me over to wait so he could call public affairs office and have somebody drive all the way from the center of Camp Lejeune near Building 1 back down to Sneeze Ferry to lead me to where I had to go. Now, what was ironic about that, a hippie van, a Volkswagen hippie van with Canadian tags on it and flowers painted on it, drove up, and two foreign nationals, they're Canadians, but they're foreign nationals, they got a pass to go through the base.
They probably have explosives in
You
there.
tell me what's wrong with that picture.
Good Lord.
Well, when it's just like the truck drivers, for years we use our TWIC card. It is a government card to get on any military
I got one too.
security installation. Yep. And when they came out with the Rapid Gate system, they were going to cut them out. Well, the Rapid Gate didn't work. Well, they came out with the DBID system. And they kept telling us, hey, man, we're going to cut the DBID cards out. Okay. I mean, not the DBID, but the TWIC cards out. Well, you go through a government background check to get a TWIC card.
No kidding.
and you know, you're there. And it just like the other day, the guy said, I need your driver's license. So I casually handed him my driver's license and my TWIC card just to see what he'd say. And I do that when I go on a base. If they want, let me see your ID. I'll hand it to them, and they'll look at me. Oh, you have a TWIC card? Yes, sir. Okay. But that's where it is. Every base is different. Every commander has different sets of rules and regulations, and I don't know why, but Camp Lejeune is just
special.
Sickening to get on. And I remember we used to go to the ball game.
I used to go to the beach.
Where are you going? Yeah, well, where are you going? We're going to the ball game tonight. They hand you, say, give you your driver's license. They look at it, give you a pass, enjoy the game. Ain't happening no more.
Or to the 4th of July fireworks.
Yep.
Or the boxing matches that they used to hold.
Yep. Oh yeah, but it's you had to talk to the commanding officer that's in charge of Camp Lejeune and say, hey, we got a problem, and they'll be the one to rectify it.
Well, if they're gonna,
no, go ahead.
If they are going to open fireworks, for example, to the public on the 4th of July,
they don't.
No, but if periodically, but there's got to be a way to make it where you don't take an hour to be able to get onto a trauma center. Let me tell you something. Back in 2007, my daughter was a freshman at Northside High School, and it was Labor Day weekend, and she was out with friends and their families out at Onslow Beach on jet skis, and a bunch of drunk realtors who was in their group were jumping waves, acting stupid, and they know who they are because I know one of them listens. Hit my daughter with the jet ski.
Oh, really?
She almost died. She was in critical condition, stopped breathing, had a head injury. I was at my house, and at the time I lived in Bryn Mawr, got the call. I beat the ambulance to the base. That's how, and it didn't take me. I mean, in hindsight, I got to remember I drove a friend's car, but I didn't have to take no hour to. And let me tell you something. Had that happened now, and my child being in the intensive care, and I'm fooling at the base trying to get a pass, when I tell you the president would have been called, bet that they would have had to arrest me, tase me, whatever, to keep me from getting to that hospital.
And I can tell you, there is one person in my life I don't ever want to cross, and that's Kelly.
There you go. All right, Tim.
I wouldn't make her mad. I mean, I bet Robin wears Kevlar underwear all the time. He don't better start. But no, I just wanted to point that out. Every base is different. Every base has a set of rules and regulations. I'm going to Fort Stewart this morning.
Be safe driving.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it's wet.
Yeah,
it's wet out here. But I'm going to have to give my driver's license, my registration, and my proof of insurance. All I'm gonna have to give them, take this piece of equipment to the railhead.
Okay.
Fine.
Right. Take it to the railhead.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, Tim.
Y'all have a good weekend.
You too. Have a good one. Mike, you still there?
I'm right here.
There you are. How are you doing?
Good morning, Rayford. Good morning, adorables. Hey, I was calling in on a separate matter, but I wanted to amplify what Tim said. He made great points. You need to walk back in history, though, and remember It was a Colonel Adele Hodges, who at the time was the
Very
commanding
good friend of
officer,
mine. I love that woman.
which it came under her command that they closed the base for
Yes.
through traffic, because I used to use 172 from Bear Creek down to the back gate and then into
Yes.
Wilmington. But I was sitting in a meeting with Brigadier General Andrew Nibel about a year ago, and he said when he was being transferred to this base, he said, they're going to ask you about opening up the base to traffic. So he said, sure enough, that was the question. That was the question I asked him, and he said, the short answer is no, it's not going to change. But Tim's right. You got to start at the top, and that would be the person to talk to. But he was pretty adamant.
It's not going to change.
Keeping the base closed. I did get an email from base officials yesterday afternoon here at the chamber office, and Tim would be happy to know that, quote, the base has received a new shipment of Dibbits ID cards at the visitor center, and they are ready to process you for base access.
Yep.
So I was in the same boat with him. I was getting a piece of paper rather than a piece of plastic over the last couple months, but I finally got mine last month. But there's
I just want to go to the beach.
If I have a second, do I have a second, Ray?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I heard from an extremely reliable source that, quote, the students in Onslow County are just going crazy. Wild, I think was the term. There's been more than 25 bomb threats placed by students to area schools. Did you hear that? Have you heard that?
I have not.
I've not heard that.
Yeah, I mean, again, let's walk back in history of time a little bit. Back in 2014, there was a rash of bomb threats in the Southwest area. I'm not going to mention the person's name because they get off on that, but he was found guilty of placing 18 bomb threats and pled guilty to felony charges. It used to be a pretty serious matter. It still is, but the way in which the legislatures have defined the defendants, a 16-year-old used to go to jail. Now they don't. They have to be 18. And that's a pretty heavy charge, felony bomb threat. I think this morning I'm going to send a couple questions off to Brett Anderson at Onslow County Schools and just get some more light on this subject. I haven't heard it happening out here in Swansboro from parents or administrators, but I'm just curious to know what schools are affected. I think we have a right to know that, don't we?
We do.
Yeah. So I will be doing that, and whatever I get back from the school system, I'll report to you when I get it back from them.
Thank you.
Okay. It certainly puts to rest that, because there's been no publicity about this.
Well, again, Rayford, I told you this before. You and Kelly and Lee, you are our local media outlet. Like it or not, you have ascended to that mantle, because there is no local other than what you uncover and broadcast.
I retired from the media.
I think we're going to have to start getting out and making requests every day, these different places.
I hate to get out and do beat work again.
Yes.
Yeah, but again, that would be something, Rayford, you know this, when you were in media and when I was in, true media, that would have been, if we heard that what I just said, we would have been investigating that and uncovered what the truth was,
Yeah, that many of them. It was quite often that it was the same as with suicides. We seldom reported on a suicide or a bomb threat per se.
Yeah.
If it got to be, obviously, if this happens to be a dignitary or something like that, or somebody jumps off a building or hangs themselves from the top of the flagpole, different story. It becomes a public event. With people calling in bomb threats, the thought process was at one time that if you reported it, all you're going to do is incite others to do the same thing. But if there have been 25 of them, there's been no broadcast, there's been no media attention here.
So I mean, whether it's happened in municipalities in Onslow County or in the county itself, just think of the assets. I mean, just as an example, let's say it was a Jacksonville school within the city of Jacksonville. You got patrol out there, so they're going to be coming off different sectors of patrol. Because they have to do it. They have to take every call seriously, even though you probably know 99% of them are what they are. They're false, but they got a procedure. They got to clean up, clean the building out and make it clear. But all that while, those assets are there when they could be out on patrol. That's the bad thing about it.
They had at one high school in Wilmington, they had that was when they had payphones outside, under some covers and stuff. But they had phone calls from those payphones calling in bomb threats. It usually happened in the spring when the beach weather was nice.
That's right.
That's the way things happened.
Yeah. Now practically every student probably has a mobile device of some sort.
Don't you know it?
And, they probably don't understand the magnitude of doing that. The ease at which you can do it is obvious, but the ramifications, they probably don't have the ability to process.
They need to be watching TV because those are so easily traceable.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
I will fire off some questions to the schools or Armstrong County schools, and we'll see what
sounds good.
Good. Let us know.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
All right, you take care. Have a good weekend. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Anymore, a locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home down the street on Richlands Highway here in Jacksonville and Main Street in Maysville. Half cut, bone in, ribeye loin is only $9.99 a pound. Quarter sliced pork loin, just $1.79 a pound. Whole smoked picnic is only $1.79 a pound. Fresh ground chuck, $3.39 a pound with a purchase of 10 pounds or more. Whole bone-in pork loin, just $1.39 a pound. Whole chickens, $1.49 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest certified Angus beef and Sanders's Farm chicken. Over in produce, 2 1-pound packages of fresh strawberries, just $5. Extra large red globe grapes or red or white seedless grapes are only $1.99 a pound. 2 pints of ruby grape tomatoes, just $4. Jumbo mangoes, you get 2 for $4. Washington State Granny Smith apples are only $1.99 a pound, and crisp and tender broccoli crowns are only $1.99 a pound. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store down home down the street where good things cost less on the Richlands Highway in Jacksonville and Main Street in Maysville. And you get 2 6-packs of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $8. Remember, save big with the pig.
If you own rental property but don't have time or expertise to manage it, entrust Fountain Management with managing your rental properties. There will be no disappointments. Fountain Management is very receptive to answering any questions along the way. If you're looking for an honest, professional, friendly management company, call Fountain Management today, 910-455-1609, or visit Fountain Management at 255 Williamsburg Parkway, Jacksonville.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to paint and maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Tideline Marine here in Jacksonville, your one-stop shop for all of your boating and fishing needs. Stop on by, find staff there. The doors are open now. And go on by, take a look at some of the new boats, the Lund boats, the aqua sports that are still there, and all of the brand new fishing tackle and all sorts of cool stuff in there. You will enjoy the new store look if you haven't been in there. It's laid out really cool, easy to find stuff. So, walk on in. Just say, hey, guys, let me just take a look around the store. You will enjoy it. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. A gale warning will go into effect this evening. We'll be that way all night long until the morning hours tomorrow. Southerly winds today, offshore 5 to 10 knots, increasing to 10 to 15 later today. Seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. Dominant period 9 seconds, decreasing to 7 seconds this afternoon. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop. Tomorrow, northwesterly winds 25 to 30 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Seas 6 to 9, 3 to 5 near shore. Dominant period 9 seconds. Sounds and rivers very rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon. Sunday, northeasterly winds 10 to 15, becoming easterly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5, about 2 feet near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Today, rain, high of 59, gusty winds. Tonight, rain between 9 and midnight, and then cloudy, then clearing with a low of only 38. It's super gusty with gusts as high as 24 tonight. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 57 and incredibly gusty. Tomorrow night, clear, low of 36. On Sunday, rain mainly after 1 p.m. Otherwise, prior to that rain, mostly cloudy, a high of 55, but not gusty.
Oh, my. Good morning. We have a caller. Who's this?
Thank you.
Yes. Good morning. This is Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey. Yeah, I was listening to all the difficulties I guess people had getting on base and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I know even as a retiree, they, I had a sticker, etc., and they said that they had to take all that off and only give you a pass as you needed it. So I wasn't going to question the security of the base at all. Just say, yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Okay, let me ask you this:
and I still have to, even as a retiree, have to wait in line just to go to the PX and other things.
Hey, Bill.
If I had to go to the hospital, etc.
Hey, Bill.
So, yes.
As a retiree, you carry a retired card with you, do you not?
Yes.
Do they not just swipe that at the gate?
No, I still would have to go in and get a pass.
Are you sure of that?
Say again now?
Are you absolutely sure of that? Because some friends that I've got, they're retired, and some are retired federal agents, and all they do is swipe their card at the gate.
Yeah.
Scan it.
I haven't, I've gone to the thing, and had to go to the office off to the right there and get passes as I needed it.
All right, I'm a little surprised about that, but anyway, okay.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me. It's security for the base.
Yeah.
And I know like they've always brought up periodically the stuff about the legalization of marijuana and the marijuana pill or the cannabis pill. Is that I remember when I was young, they used to always try to sell marijuana or hashish in school as well as other stuff. Is that very similar to the hashish?
No.
That pill?
Nope.
It isn't.
Nope, not at all.
Because they used to always try to sell that as all the ingredients of marijuana.
Hashish is different than this medical cannabis. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
So, it made me wonder if they took if you took all the stuff that had medicinal qualities, that was supposedly the big selling point of hashish.
No, that was baloney. You still get high with hashish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was just calling to bring that up.
Okay.
To say it doesn't bother me. I'm not in and out of the base a lot, so.
All right, Bill. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye, Bill. Wow.
I knew.
Wow.
We used to go through the base with, up until a year ago, with a couple that we know that I know. We travel when we wanted to go to get to Wilmington through the back gate or whatever, or down to Sneads Ferry,
yes.
Particularly from where they live. And all they do is swipe their card when we get there. They're retired federal agents.
Oh, yes. Well, yes. That's easy then. It's like Kelly brought up. I mean, they can open up the base for the 4th of July fireworks. And that's a huge crowd. Why can't they make it easier for someone to go to the hospital? And hopefully that's our...
No, it's not. It's Steve.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing today?
All right, we may have to run because we're waiting for a caller.
We're waiting on a lady to call in, but yeah, go ahead. What's up?
I want to throw it out there real quick. This can't be something that happens every day there, as far as the trauma patient and the family needing to get to them. And they have lots of those little young MPs. Why they couldn't dispatch one to escort the family to the hospital and then bring them their pass?
I agree.
That's a good thought. They have the civilian police force.
Yes. Yeah.
I would think that would be a good idea.
It's hard to get on there.
Yeah, it is difficult to get aboard. So.
Yeah, I'm cleared evidently to drive anywhere, but I have to have somebody sign for me to say I have a reason to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, like I say, it is difficult, but it seems like that would be a real easy one to remedy.
You would think.
Just copy their driver's license, copy their registration, and have an MP escort them onto the hospital, and then do the paperwork while they're sitting in the hospital.
Yeah, like you say, it's not going to be a 5 time a day event.
Right,
we hope.
Right. Hope not. But I can understand why they use that trauma center. I think there's like different level trauma centers. They're not all the same. And, if your loved one is in need of a trauma center, going to Camp Lejeune versus Greenville might save their life.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it inconvenience if it's an inconvenience, I know that's terrible, but, I don't know that we'd want to change that, necessarily, but it could be easy for them to get you to the, get you right on to the hospital. That's just, I don't understand that one either.
All right.
But anyway.
Thank you, sir.
I don't want to hold y'all up from your next call.
Yep.
Hey, if y'all get out this evening, I'm at 34 in Cedar Point. Excuse me, at Red Tide to Cedar Point tonight, 34 tomorrow night, and Gafford's on Sunday. So hopefully I might see y'all out somewhere.
He'll be a busy guy.
Yeah.
Bring your raincoat.
All right, let's take our break here, and hopefully we'll get our caller in. Do we have her number by any chance?
No, I just sent her a message.
Oh, okay. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
To make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane and Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane and Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane and Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane and Associates Family Dentistry.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and pay top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Tammy from Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox today and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy from Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your homeowners and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own homeowners policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, automobile, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate in Swansboro. Phone 910-326-5383 today. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Remember, check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back, and I know we got some dumb and crook news, and we're waiting for a caller. Hopefully she will get a call in here. And Shockwave, our mascot, is visiting.
He's showing off his little haircut. He got a haircut yesterday.
He's
handsome.
Getting his morning massage.
It's raining outside, y'all. And the only reason I know is Shockwave came in. Oh, I see it now. Okay, yeah. It's raining nicely out there, too. Yikes.
Now, I'm going to do your first dumb crook news. Well,
hold
maybe
on.
not.
Maybe it's our caller. I bet it is.
No. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Royce. How you doing?
Hey, Royce. I'm fine. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Look, I've been listening all morning, and I'll try to be quick because I know you're waiting on somebody. But, the long-term solution to this hospital issue is for our hospital to become a trauma center that's
Absolutely.
at the same level as the Naval Medical Center. And the issue with that is money. That requires money. The federal government spent billions and billions of dollars to get that trauma designation for Naval Medical. And all they really did for Onslow Memorial is take business away from our regional local hospitals.
Uh-huh.
So there needs to be pressure on our federal government to help us get a trauma designation, and to find a way to fund what's needed to get Onslow Memorial up to the same trauma level as the Naval Medical Center. So,
well, then we need to contact Tom Tillis and Greg Murphy.
Absolutely, we sure do.
But in the meantime, the county needs to work with the base to streamline this process for people. This should not take any family an hour to get a pass to get to their loved one. That is unacceptable.
I totally agree with you, and of course that's been on our radar. I'm sure Commissioner Knapp will agree that that's been on our radar for several years now. And you just can't do but so much with the federal government. We can scream and yell and bring it up every chance we get, and they're just going to do whatever they want to do, and could care less about what the community has issues with. So, you got to keep it in perspective. And I'm sure that we'll continue to do everything that we can to try to get something fixed along those lines.
Well, let me make a suggestion, if I can.
And it's not up to us. Yes, sir.
We the citizens, the civilians of this community, we need to make them feel a little bit more welcome than sometimes I think we make them feel. We do not have anything except a sign that says Home of Camp Lejeune, welcoming the Marine Corps or the Navy or anybody else to this area. You go to Wilmington, even at the VFW post there, they got an airplane. We used to have an airplane sitting on the lawn at City Hall. What are we doing? We got a visitor center that hasn't been built yet. It's been under construction, and all they got is pavement for the last 2 years, 3 years.
Well, they're putting a Starbucks right down the street from there, and that's going to be I'd love to know who in the city approved that nonsense based on its location.
And then, I know we got City Hall with all the flags around it there, the Freedom Fountain. That's great. Love it. That's a great idea. But why not have it at the visitor center and other locations? That kind of stuff. The flags are flying from there. Flag is flying from there every day. We don't have a Marine Corps flag flying with it, do we? Nope.
Well, that makes me mad.
Nope. There's always things we can do to support our military. We certainly want to do that.
Absolutely.
But,
so it's a
both
two-way street. We the civilians need to really respect our Marine Corps, and sometimes that still is not the case. I see it.
I agree with that.
Anyway.
All right.
Thank you, Royce.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks,
You too.
Royce.
All right, you said you have.
I got one
dumb
dumb quick
Let's
news.
hear it.
Now this one's a personal. Okay.
Oh,
It
okay.
didn't involve me.
Oh, okay.
But I was doing as a beat work, a reporter in Wilmington. I was down at the cop shop early morning,
Okay.
doing my thing, reading all the overnight reports, right? Because they'd made them available. You didn't have to go sign for anything. And I was reading one that Officer Lanier responded, Officer Lanier being a female,
Okay.
responded to a 1040 in progress. That's a fight in progress
Okay.
in front of the two, at that time, topless places that were downtown Wilmington on Market Street.
Okay. All right.
She responded. She gets out. She's the first person there. She gets out and she breaks it up. She separates the two guys. Here's how the report read. After Officer Lanier separated the two men who were fighting, whatever the words were, one of the men grabbed Officer Lanier's breast. Subject was transported to New Hanover Memorial Hospital for treatment and then to the New Hanover County Jail.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
exactly the way that went.
I love it.
That was hilarious reading.
I love it.
Now, if you don't think that's dumb crook news,
That is dumb crook news.
I just talked to a Board of Education member because when Mike called and said something about the bomb threats, and I just asked, has there been any reported recently? And he said no.
Huh.
So I don't know. I don't know what that's all
maybe
about.
it's an urban legend.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I've got some dumb crook news, and it's all involving Florida. And Florida just gives me the greatest dumb crook news. And this is all recent. Like this took place earlier
It gives you such joy.
This right here. I mean, there's some dumb, and then there's some dumb. Now, the first one's tame compared to the other two, I guess, but they're in levels of dumbness. So everyone knows there's a Hollywood, California, and a Hollywood, Florida.
Yep.
I mean, maybe somebody don't know. Well, apparently there is somebody that don't know that. So a man called the Hollywood PD Sunday, and he threatened to blow up the Hollywood sign in LA unless they paid him $10,000. First of all, you got to be dumb to try to call the police and say, if you don't pay me $10,000, I'm blowing up the Hollywood sign.
A little off your rocker.
Problem is, he called the Hollywood, Florida Police Department, not the Hollywood, California Police Department. Dumb as rocks.
How'd that work out?
So
they told him to go ahead and blow it up.
They ended up calling the LAPD. They managed this, and this gets better. This idiot gave them a little bit of information, but they managed to call the LA, LA Hollywood, LA Police Department and told them what happened. They all got a good laugh out of it, but they also reminded them that sign is under 24/7 video surveillance.
Yeah.
So go ahead, buddy. But if you're going to call, to try to extort money, don't do it to the police. Now, one of my favorite stories and I watched a video of this because it made national news, and it happened March 3rd, last Friday, to be exact. Okay. They were in, and thank goodness for body cams, because his whole thing is captured on body cam and dash cam. We got dual video of this nonsense. So last Friday night, a deputy spotted a bunch of motorcyclists on the highway in Volusia County, Florida. When they tried to pull them, they were popping wheelies on the highway, which, that could be dangerous. It could cause a problem. So the deputy attempted to pull them over, and it's a group of them. So, of course, what they do, they sped off. They were passing vehicles on solid yellow lines, driving recklessly, just doing all kinds of crazy nonsense, okay? So one of the guys, and his name is, got his mugshot and everything on here, Joshua Richardson, looks back at the deputy, and it was a red. Joshua had a red light that he clearly wasn't going to stop on. Looked back at the deputy and flips him off. Rode right in front of a truck and got hit. Shockingly, this kid didn't. He's young, didn't die. I'm incredibly surprised. Took off running. So they had a chase, foot chase, and on the body camera footage, you can hear him screaming, "I'm hurt, I'm hurt." He's cussing and yelling, and the deputy said, well, if you had just stopped for the deputies, your leg wouldn't be hurting. And he actually said to them, well, what was I supposed to do? Dude, you were supposed to stop your motorcycle. So he was charged with fleeing, attempting to elude, resisting without violence, leaving the scene of a crash, failure to stop at a red light, and passing in a no passing zone. But there's this body cam video. Well, is like when you see that truck hit that dude, you just know this kid's dead. And he wasn't. Idiot, because he got transported to the hospital and then to the jail. Now, probably the best one of this is just pure dumb. Once again, so in December of 22, there was a shooting, in Polk County, Florida.
Okay.
Last week, on last Thursday, the sheriff Grady Judd. Now we've heard of this guy before because this guy, he's
vocal.
This guy is super vocal. I'd like to meet this sheriff because he just makes me laugh. So anyway, he held a news conference to say that 19-year-old LaDarian Chandler, who was on jail after multiple charges, apparently that shooting back in December involved a 33-year-old man named John McGee who was shot in the back. Well, McGee, no, let me. I hate to speak ill of a dead guy, but he was expected to recover from this shooting, except he died on January 9th of this year because he refused to take the medicine that the doctor said you need to have to heal from this gunshot wound.
Duh.
How dumb are you?
Right.
So the guy died. But as a result, the shooter, Ladarian Chandler, obviously was charged with murder. Okay. Well, anyway, let me tell you how they found Mr. Chandler, because this is where the dumb comes in. Well, let me back up. According to the sheriff, the shooting was a result of, as he puts it, testosterone overload, because the victim gave Mr. Chandler a dirty look. Now, before Mr. McGee died, which it almost sounds like he died of sepsis or something because he was able to talk, he told the deputies he didn't want Chandler to be arrested because he wanted to get revenge on him himself.
Oh, my.
And I'm sure the deputies laughed, had a good chuckle at that one.
Mm.
Well, anyway, so how Mr. Chandler got arrested, and by the way, February 22nd is when he was finally arrested. He was arrested. Oh, let me back up. So this idiot was arrested on February 22nd for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon because he pointed a gun at somebody else in this same secret code neighborhood.
Oh, God.
So how they tied him to the murder, no, let me take that back. They had gathered enough evidence they knew he did it because the other guy said, don't arrest him. I want to kill him myself before he died. Mr. Chandler wants to be a rapper, Rayford. He wants to be a rap star. And he released a song. And in the song, he talked about not only the shooting, but he gave up details that nobody but the police knew. So the sheriff and his unbelievable, and made a music video and everything, Rayford, over this. The sheriff loved this because it made their job a lot easier. And quote from the sheriff in his news conference, he's not much of a rapper. My rapper expert says he doesn't even sing well. He doesn't move well. He's terrible, but he's a stupid rapper. He not only makes a rap video about shooting somebody, but he admits to shooting him in the back. I'm a coward rapper. That's what I am. Watch me shoot the guy in the back. That's what that's what the sheriff says. So now, and Mr. I'm Tough, Chandler also said he was always armed and would shoot at all his rivals.
Whoops.
Yep. Well, the sheriff said he cried like a baby when he was charged with first-degree murder.
I'm sure
now, they
did.
haven't found the gun, and that sheriff down there is offering $5,000 reward. They want the gun.
Oh, yeah.
And they said they've been told that the gun is being hidden and moved by the because these are all gang members.
Yeah.
Mr. Chandler, who is now 19, has a criminal history dating back to when he was 11, including 7 previous felony arrests, 5 misdemeanors, and at 19 years old, he's already been incarcerated 3 times. Yeah.
Dummy.
So there we go. Yeah, that's y'all's dumb crook news for today because this is unreal.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Chris Rayner from Sports Talk. He'll be giving us a ringy-dingy here. You're live and local Real Talk. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements? Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them won the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we are back, and joining us right now on the phone from Sports Talk, the one, the only Chris Rayner. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Hello. How are y'all today?
Oh, we're hanging in
We're
here.
doing good.
Y'all are doing a wonderful job on it this morning.
Well, we appreciate it. And now you're going to be doing a wonderful job in about 5 minutes.
Yes,
Well,
great
we may have one of our
co-host.
most beloved guests ever. No, not Tim Foster. Deb Martin. I've never seen the internet response like we've gotten on our Facebook for guests. I've been warned that I can't ask her certain questions because I can't offend her.
Oh,
People
I
threaten me
see.
if I go over the line.
I definitely don't think that's true because she's tough. I know who she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's awesome.
Tough
So,
cookie.
yeah, but it's got a lot of response from a lot of people. Love Coach Marlin. So,
Yeah.
it'll be a good show today.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It'll be a
She
great
recently
show.
retired like I did, so she's enjoying the good life.
Yep. And you got Tim Foster and they're co-hosting with you today, right?
Oh, yes, I could just basically sit back and let them talk.
Well, 30 some years at what, Southwest, was it?
Most of it, she was a college coach at Campbell. She was a college volleyball coach to start with, and then family, stepped in as it does sometimes and got her back home. So she'll tell that tale as we go. And yeah, she was the head volleyball coach at Campbell right to start with.
Yeah, okay.
she's
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Decided she wanted to come to another black and orange place. So
There you go.
She's good.
How about the Worcesters last night?
It was good.
It was
Well, I didn't
really-
eat them, but Robin loved them. Yeah.
Really, really good.
I
Clam
only had like
chowders.
two. I only had like two, but they were small bushels. So
No wonder they ran short.
I saw you eating them away. Not a problem.
Yeah.
now I was listening coming in, and I do want to interject one thing.
What's
on the whole deal about getting on and off the base? We used to go all the time, Southwest, when they played Lejeune. And the only thing that struck me was just sometimes the preparedness. Like, don't get me wrong, the main concern is the security of the base.
Yep.
But you step on a Friday night and there's 500 people standing in line dressed in orange and black to get a pass. And a guy comes out of the back and looks like it's the first time he's ever seen that on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And
I'm
they got
telling
one
you.
person
Yeah.
doing passes, stuff like that.
I
That's the
agree.
aggravating part.
I agree.
But still, the security of the base is most important.
But there's got to be a way to streamline this process. Bottom line.
Well, or at least if you know you've got a football game, coordinate with your high school, and you got 500 to 1,000 people coming. You prepared that evening,
Yeah.
to have more people doing passes.
Would they do passes in advance when people get married on the base for the
Okay, now
guests?
that's my horror story number 2.
Yeah.
I went one year and got ahead of the game. Took off an hour from work to go get a pass in the afternoon. Come to the gate, the guy never looks at the pass. He waves me in.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
that's frustrating too.
Yeah.
You know it's for security purposes, but then you get there and you just get waved in without the pass sat in my lap. He never looked at it.
yeah. And that just
So
crushes your
it's,
soul
that's
right
just the
there.
frustrating
Yeah.
part as a,
Yeah.
as a civilian, but like I said, most important is security out there. So it's a necessary evil, apparently.
Yeah, it is. Hey, don't forget Sunday morning, get up at about 2:00. If you're have already gone to bed, be sure you move your clocks ahead 1 hour.
That's right.
I'll probably be up anyway.
Okay.
It's basketball season.
Yep. All right. But anyway,
Get ready to start
folks,
the tournament.
daylight time begins Sunday. We'll get an extra hour of daylight at the end of the day, and it'll be dark when we get here in the mornings again.
Yes, they will be. Yes.
You guys do a great job there, and everybody's hang around for a few minutes, listen to Coach Deb Marley. We'll have a great show today.
Yeah, we plugged you good.
All right, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, thank you. Y'all take care.
Yep,
You
you
too.
too.
Bye-bye.
See you at the next event. Okay.
Wow.
Again, Sports Talk is next, coming up in about an hour or so.
Fast
dose
morning.
of the Daily D's with good old Rick D's. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Hollywood will join us live in the house.
That's our
Don't forget,
friend.
next Friday is
St. Patty's Day.
It is.
and you're going to be out of town.
No, I'll be at my daughter's having surgery.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So you'll be here.
But she'll
I'll be
be
here.
with us when we do Angry Ginger.
No, I won't.
You're not.
Because I've got the special needs dance that night, and that's where I'll be.
Man,
Yeah,
This is your one day of
I
the
know
year.
it's my holiday, and
Can't you reschedule that dance?
no,
This
I'm
is
the
your
DJ for
day.
Oh,
Mhm.
well,
I know.
just send them a tape.
I cannot do that.
We're
to
going to
those
do a cutout
individuals.
cardboard of Kelly
Yeah,
and just take her
a
with
picture of
us.
me.
Yeah,
no.
put you up there and it'll be fine. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay. We'll talk more about it
We'll
next
talk
week.
about it, yeah.
Angry Ginger has invited us to come over there for a couple hours next
Mhm.
Friday, the
That's right.
17th at about 4 o'clock. So we'll be over there having a good time talking with people. So like we did last
Eating
year.
that
and the year
Irish
before.
food.
And yeah, I mean that shepherd's pie is just calling my name.
Yes.
It calls my name every year. A
Mm.
couple of times a year I get over there for that. You are live, you are local, right here on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, but please, please don't let us read about you on Monday. See you then. See you then.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246.